As I try to promote my video channel, YouTube channel, Antonio's Yiannopoulos, about particles, physical particles, quantum mechanics, little Newtonian mechanics. I've been trying to promote my channel about the origins of the universe, about the origins of matter. And what I discovered was that to most people, it's a boring subject. Actually, until 4 years ago, it was a boring subject for me. So I'm faced with a real challenge. No matter how interesting I might be, how excited I am about the origins of the universe, most people don't care. It has no relevance to them. I remember 40 years ago, I took my wife out to a restaurant, and my favorite subject at the time was economic stuff, the Federal Reserve, money supply, trade deficit. Oh man, I really got excited about that stuff. And I was sharing my enthusiasm and my excitement with my wife at dinner at this restaurant. And as I was continuing with my talk, I heard my wife say, but at the wrong point. It didn't have the intonation of understanding because I hadn't completed the idea. Okay? Since I was in the middle of a presentation of a thought, it wasn't the pause that would coincide with the aha. And it turns out she might have not been saying aha. She might have been saying ah. Now there's a difference. If you Google A-A-A-H, as opposed to aha, you're going to discover that means help. Okay. So when my wife was saying what I thought was a aha at the wrong spot, she was actually saying, get me out of this conversation. Help somebody get me out of this conversation. Because she didn't want to be rude and say, I'm not interested in what you're talking about. Shut up. We weren't quite newlyweds, but we were, maybe 7 years married at the time, So she's still trying to be polite in some instances. But I noticed that the ahas or the ahs were at the wrong, they weren't ahas because they were at the wrong place, So after a few ahas, I changed the conversation because my wife wasn't interested. She found it boring. And she was just trying to be polite, So now I have the same problem with my YouTube channel. As I try to promote it, and I'm thinking the people that I'm trying to promote it to, I'm thinking that they're going to take one look at the subject. Physics is fun. And they're going to switch channels. No one is going to watch to see what I have to say. And what I have to say is the end product of 4 years of research. So 4 years ago, if someone gave me a similar channel, Okay, 4 years ago, someone gave me a similar channel. We're recording. Anyway, 4 years ago, if someone gave me a similar channel, I wouldn't watch it either. I might have looked it up, to see what the guy has to say. And then when I discovered it was about neutrons and protons and muons and black holes and neutron stars and Newtonian physics and quantum mechanics and Einstein's theory of relativity, I'd say, wow, this ain't for me, So how I got from 4 years ago to where I am now is really a detective story. It's really following the clues, one clue to the next clue to the next clue. And when you follow the clue, when I follow the clues, I'm no smarter than you, okay? I'm no smarter than you. But if you can watch a detective show and follow the clues, which is something my wife loved to do. She loved to watch detective shows and follow the clues and figure out who the murderer was, So, so I'm going back in this series with my brown shirt, okay, brown striped shirt. I'm going back to the clues. And if you follow the clues along with me, well, hopefully in less than 4 years, okay, in less than 4 years, you will develop and understand the same concepts and theories that I understand. Okay, so where I started was I Googled Einstein's theory of relativity, and right at the beginning it says the premise, light in a vacuum travels at a constant speed. Okay. So his theory is based on light in a vacuum traveling in a constant speed. Okay. Now, a vacuum can be interpreted as nothing. Okay. But space has to have structure. So that's like what occurred to me. Okay. We have this premise that light in a vacuum travels at a constant speed. Okay. So if it's anything other than a vacuum, that means the speed can vary. For instance, we know that light in water will travel at 75% the speed of light. Okay. So that's a big, and then light traveling through the universe where there are just a few hydrogen atoms here and there, or hydrogen molecules, okay? It's not a complete vacuum. There are particles there. And those particles will slow the frequency of the light, will make the light waves longer. Okay. So, but the question, the detective question that we're going to ask today is, can a light travel as a wave without a medium? Okay. Can light travel as a wave without a medium? Okay. All the waves that we know on Earth sound waves, earthquakes, water waves, they all travel through a medium. Okay? And what a wave is it's a force that travels through the medium, okay, and displaces the medium particles, and then they return back to their rest position. Okay, so the medium particles, if there were no waves, they would have a rest position. Okay, they would have a rest position, and then when the wave is going through, then there's a force attached to those waves as the waves propagate through the medium. Now, light has all the attributes of a wave, including light has all the attributes of a wave. Everything that sound waves have, light waves have. Okay, they have Doppler effect. They have constructive and destructive interference. They harmonize. So sound waves and light waves are identical. And then here comes Einstein saying that there is no medium. They do not travel through an invisible medium. Okay. Now, this issue was debated until the Mitchison-Morley experiment. And the Mitchison-Morley experiment at Western University, might not have the complete name there. Anyway, the Mitchison-Morley experiment is like a small-scale LIGO, which is LIGO and Virgo experiments. What they are, what a LIGO facility is, it's like a 4 kilometer by another distance tunnels. And they have mirrors in those tunnels, and they break light up into laser light, and they shoot it at the mirrors, and it goes back and forth. And depending on whether it's synchronized or not, LIGO can determine if a gravitational wave went through Earth or around Earth through the facilities. Okay, so we have 3 of those. I mean, we have 2 LIGOs in the U.S. and we have Virgo in Italy, and between the 3 of them, they can not only tell when a gravitational wave goes through Earth, they can tell the direction from it. And then the astronomers can put their telescopes in that direction and maybe find an X-ray source which will show like 2 black holes merging or 2 neutron stars merging. So that's pretty fascinating, okay? So you probably did hear about gravitational waves and stuff. Now, the interesting thing is that gravitational waves also travel in the speed of light. So we got gravitational waves traveling at the speed of light, and we got gravitational waves traveling at the speed of light, and we got light traveling at the speed of light. Okay, now I take those 3 clues and say that they all travel in the same medium. I say that there's a GP1, ether medium. Now, a GP1 is a term that I developed. It stands for God particle 1. Okay? And I define a God particle 1 as the tiniest particle of mass in the universe, and it's gases. Okay? So I say that it makes up the structure of space, and that nucleons are sacks, electrons are sacks, neutrinos are sacks, and that the way gravity is generated is if you net compress GP1s into nucleons or into neutrinos, then you generate gravity. Okay? Well, that's the topic of a different day. Okay? The topic today, what I'm asking you to decide is, I'm asking you to express your opinion, okay, based on the facts, okay? Now, I expressed my opinion, and Einstein has expressed his opinion, okay? Now, I say that there's a medium. There's an invisible medium in space. And Mitchison Morley says there isn't, okay? And the LIGO people, LIGO, they haven't come out and say that there's an invisible medium, okay, in which light waves travel, okay? So there's nobody on my side. Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice. There's nobody on my side. So since I'm losing my voice, we'll start up this again, okay? So my channel is a detective story. It's for you as the jury to decide the facts. Well, no, you're given the facts to decide the validity of the conclusion. So what you're going to be asked to decide in the next video, based on the known facts, is whether Mitchison, Morley, and Einstein are correct that light waves propagate exactly as waves without a medium, okay, which is physically impossible in my view. But that's their view, and then Mitchison Morley says there's no medium, and everybody says light waves travel in a field without a medium. And I say the field is throughout the universe, and it gives structure to the space, and that this field is composed of God particle ones, okay? A finite number of God particle ones with positive ether pressure inside a finite universe, okay? And we'll go over the details of that next time. And then you'll be asked whether to give a thumbs up because you believe that all waves must travel in a medium, including light waves, including gravitational waves. They must travel in a medium. And since they both travel at the speed of light, it's quite possible that they travel in the same medium. So there's only one medium in space. It's the GP1 ether medium. And gravitational waves travel in that medium. That's my postulates. And you are the jury examining these facts and examining additional facts that are going to come forward and deciding with a thumbs up or a thumbs down who's right. But it's going to be your decision. It's going to be your judgment that matters on the basis of the facts. Okay, it's your judgment. It's important. It's your understanding. It matters whether or not you believe that light waves travel in a field without a medium. They have no substance, but they have momentum. Okay, so your opinion matters, and it's these opinions, this searches like a detective for the clues that should pique your interest. Okay? Talk more at a different time. Bye.